I believe everyone has a story to tell. And I believe everyone deserves a little pampering. Welcome to Mannies with Grannies. I'm your host, Tiffany Marino. Join me while I sit down with a woman over 70 and get to know her while giving her a manicure. Welcome to this episode of Mannies with Grannies. Today, I'm with Elaine. Elaine, thanks so much for being here with me today.
Well, it's my pleasure.
You can take your hands out of here.
Okay.
How are you feeling today?
Oh, pretty good. Thank you.
Good. Elaine, are you from this Jamestown area?
Yes, I was born in Jamestown and lived here all my life. I went to school in Falconer School District, but the mailing address was Jamestown.
Did you have any brothers and sisters?
I had one brother, Charles, who was 4.5 years younger than I.
What were your parents like?
My mother was a very good cook and loved to cook and entertain at our family dining room table in our farmhouse. And my dad was soft-spoken and kind of a person and found his niche as a bus driver followed by custodian in the schools. Kids loved him.
Did he work in the schools when you were in school?
Driving bus when I was in school.
Did he drive your school bus?
No, he did not.
What was your family home like?
It was a lot of work, inside and out, but good memories there. My parents bought it from a relative of my dad's, and while my parents were living there, they built a new barn. And I remember hearing tell of me going out in my baby buggy when the barn was being built. It was a dairy farm.
Did you help work on the farm?
I did. I helped in the hayfield and driving tractor and putting the hay bales on the wagon and mowing away up in the mow. Good work. It shows you a work ethic.
Did you have a favorite chore on the farm?
At one point, I would go get the cows from the far field.
Would you have to yell for them?
We had a dog, and I got behind them, I guess, and there was Elaine, and they came up to the barn.
How about a least favorite chore on the farm?
We had a huge lawn, and as the time went by, I did a lot of work there, and unfortunately, there were a lot of banks, and there were stones from the road in the wintertime, and there were horse chestnuts to pick up. So I think I overdid my hips. I think I worked so hard that my hips played out, but it was a good time, good memories. And after my father died, Dad died in 2002, and my brother Charles, at the age of 52, died unexpectedly in 2005. And at that point, we sold the place and moved to a little 2-bedroom ranch in the city. And Mother and I enjoyed 5 years there together. And then after she passed, I lived there until I was taken through some rehab for a while. Then I settled in here on the 1st of September of last year.
How's the transition been for you so far?
Well, I tell you, I've met some wonderful staff members, caring people, and I've learned to accept things, and I've learned to try to maintain a positive outlook. That's so important for all of us. Don't be a complainer. Nobody wants a complainer. Be thankful for what you have. I go with my walker, but I am navigating. I find that one of the most enjoyable things for me is conversation around a table with different folks. One of the girls who will follow me today in this session, and I greatly enjoy visiting, and she comes to my room and we talk about common things, and people kind of gravitate to my table after breakfast.
So it works out well that way that
yes,
you get to...
It does, because physically I'm not really too good at cornhole or some of those games, but conversation is my thing, I think. I studied Spanish in high school and pursued it into college and got a bachelor's degree in Spanish education, and I followed it up with 6 hours of graduate school in Middlebury College in Vermont. That summer we could only speak the language that we were studying. So when I arrived here, I met a young aide, and I could tell by her conversation that she was Puerto Rican, most likely. So when I spoke to her, jaw fell open. Here's this older lady with gray hair speaking Spanish and understanding her, and she got such a kick out of it. And at one point, she got on the telephone and had me speak to her aunt in Puerto Rico. Her aunt couldn't believe it.
Did you work as a Spanish teacher?
For 1 semester, I did.
Why just 1 semester?
Well, I found that personality at the time didn't lend itself to firm discipline of that age student. Perhaps I should have gone into elementary ed, but even so, look at how much fun I've had today. And I worked as a volunteer in our food pantry at our church, and in that capacity, in recent years, I was able to connect with Spanish-speaking people that would come through there. So you never know. And in the meantime, I worked as a bank teller for 42 years and enjoyed that very much. I was good with figures and enjoyed meeting my public. I was in a small branch, and I could help the senior citizens with their checking balancing and different things. That was fun.
How did you get the job as a bank teller?
Well, actually, a friend of the family knew one of the senior executives, and they said, we would like to recommend this young lady for a position at your bank. I think you will be happy with her and won't regret her service to you. So that happened, and I was thankful for that recommendation, introduction. And through the years, you know how banks merge. You go from one to another to another. But I was able to stay there for a period of 42 years. And by so doing, the hours facilitated my taking my mother to her doctor's appointments, medical appointments, and so forth. And it enabled me to carry some medical insurance and also have a pension, which has helped me in my lives today. So it was good all the way around. Strange how life can take turns one way and another along the way. But as I look back, I could be thankful for many memories.
What were you like in high school?
Well, I hate to tell you this, but I was a high school valedictorian of my class.
Amazing.
I was industrious. I don't say I was particularly the smartest, but I put in the time, did my homework and so forth. And it's strange. I was always the big sister, the kidder, the laugher. And to this day, I like to laugh and kid around. And I met some people here, a gentleman, that's just witty and fun. So we exchange barbs back and forth at the lunch table. It's cool.
It's fun.
It is fun. How about you? Do you have siblings?
This is all about you.
Oh, this is all about me. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. I do. I do. I have a younger brother and a younger sister. My younger brother is 12 years younger than me.
Oh.
So I just naturally ended up taking care of him because of that age difference. Did you take care of your brother at all?
Actually, we would squabble a bit as kids do. But as the years went by, everybody liked Charlie. We called him Charlie. His business associates called him Chuck. But as the years went by, we were there for each other. It was a special bond that we had. I miss him, but he had a daughter and a son and a little grandson. His grandson is now 21. I've watched him grow and cared for him. And in addition to the immediate family, we have some close neighboring folks, community folks that we have enjoyed, and a cousin who had recently had a little one. And they've come to me when I was in rehab at Heritage Green and also here. So that's been fun. The joy is in watching the young ones grow. And you hope that we can leave a legacy for them, for the little ones.
What kind of legacy do you want to leave?
I have a spiritual interest. My parents raised me in the church. I'd like to think that people would have a faith. I have a faith in God. Knowing how much He cares for us is even hard to describe.
Did you ever get married?
No, I never did. I'm a maiden lady. I have two librarians and a school teacher that are both single girls. And we would go out for lunch, or at this stage in the game, we didn't need anything. So we would just treat the person whose birthday it was. They would choose where we would want to go, and we would treat them. The Lucas family has been very close to me, and through the years, we would spend holidays together and picnics and such. And at holiday time, we've gone together with them at different stages. So, I don't lack for caring people in my life. And even to this day, I don't.
Did you ever have any serious relationships where you almost got married?
When I was in college, a young man who was also a Spanish major, and I did some fun things. We went to Chautauqua and did some fun things. But I think he realized that I was a couple of years younger and career was important. And then I dated another young man, and we had some good times, but I, in deep consideration, thought, no, this is not just right for me. So yes, I did date, but no, I never did marry.
No one lived up to the...
Yeah, I have to say this. I mentioned my brother and what a great guy he was, and didn't live up to that image. that I had of manhood.
Yeah. Between your dad and your brother?
Right.
Was that anything that your mother ever brought up
What?
that you didn't?
Oh, no, I think she was fine with me pursuing a career and working and caring for them, for my parents, which I cared for both of them. Mother stayed in our home, cared for her needs, and she died at the age of 91 at home. I'm glad she didn't have to go to a nursing home.
I'm sure that meant a lot to her as well.
It certainly did. I'm glad I could do it. Look what parents do for us through the years. I played piano. Growing up, I took piano lessons, and I was in the junior Mozart club that met at the Marvin House. I played for Grange meetings and things of that nature. And then in high school, I was in the orchestra, and I studied the string bass from Mr. Eustis, who was the instrumental teacher at that time at Faulkner. So that was fun. He said, "You have long fingers and you're tall, so I think you should play the string bass."
And then you enjoyed doing it?
I did. We met, as I recall, a couple of times a week at the lunch hour. You forget of the troubles of the morning classes, and it was music, and it was fun, and it was a relaxation. And the students that were in music usually did quite well academically. So on Tuesdays, we would have a sectional rehearsal, like the strings and the brass or whatever it might be. And the one week we'd get out of the first period class. The next week we'd get out of the second period class. But I have fond memories of the orchestra.
Did you continue playing instruments?
When I was at Houghton College, I was in the orchestra there.
What is your age?
I am 76. I was 76 in November.
How does it feel to be 76?
My mind is very youthful, and I'm glad for that, very active. But my body has arthritic problems, but we carry on. I have some medications that help me.
Would you like to pick a nail color?
Yes, I would. Let's see. Would it be all right to do this one?
Yeah, that's just a clear, just plain clear.
That's okay.
Okay. What's some good life advice that you've gotten?
There's wisdom in years. Don't think as a young person that you know it all, because loved ones want to direct you and guide you and give you encouragement. Be optimistic and remember your Creator at the days of your youth, and train up a child in the way he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart therein. And these things are true. I'm so thankful for my parents were together. As I've been here, I hear of instances where there were broken homes or very sad marriages or different problems that I had no concept of, and my heart aches for the people. But yet, here at Tanglewood Assisted Living, we are a family here.
Did you know any of your grandparents?
My father's parents were dead when I was born, and my mother's mother had died at a young age, so it was just my maternal grandfather that I knew, and he lived with us growing up on the farm.
Do you remember getting into any trouble with your parents?
You know, we would get junk mail all the time, and I thought I was doing a good thing throwing away the mail, and it happened to be Grandpa Sandstrom's Social Security check. He was not too happy. I think it all worked out.
Is there anything you miss from your childhood?
I miss times around the dining room table with my mother's wonderful cooking. Of course, living in where they're cooking for so many is not quite the same as her home cooking. Every holiday, we would be at our table on my mom's side. I remember making bread. I was in 4-H. We learned baking and so forth. I remember baking some wonderful Swedish rye bread and cardamom rolls and Swedish cookies. That was cool. But I never really put on a whole dinner. Mom did the dinners. I did the cleaning, setting the table, and some baking, but that was cool.
What were some of the dishes that your mom was known for?
Oh, gosh. Her roast beef and her mashed potatoes and if she had a nice spread. I remember in particular she had a frozen strawberry dessert where you would whip up whipped cream and then blend this in and graham cracker crust, and then it would be frozen and then with strawberries in it. It was very, very good. So after a heavy meal, it was a tasty dessert but light.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, it was. She often said I'd rather pay grocery bills than doctor bills, so she was fond of healthy eating.
I've never heard that, but that's so smart.
It
I
is.
love that.
Yeah, it is.
I want to live by that now that I've heard it.
I hope you can.
Yeah, I've been trying. Well, we're at the end of our manicure. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about today?
I guess you have gotten to know a lot about me. It's been my pleasure to talk with you.
It's been lovely getting to know you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this, and good luck as you continue.
Thank you for listening to Manny's with Grannies. I hope you enjoyed learning about someone else, and maybe even learned a little about yourself.